Nah, Mike. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, you don't have it. I was like, what are you talking? No, he said, Spence is not a shade of what he was. And this is before the fight. This is a while. He's like, think about this logically. Has Bud Crawford looked that dominant against anybody?
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, it is growing extremely nauseating now that everybody is making up tons and tons of rhymes and reason and excuses as to why undefeated 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the reigning undisputed welterweight world champion, who is widely acknowledged and recognized as the #1 best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, in Terence Bud Crawford, who has 40 wins, no losses, no draw, 31 big wins by way of knockout. He is 35 years of age. He'll be 36 years of age September 28th, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. Terence Crawford did the unthinkable. And what you just heard was the voice of Michael Jai White, who is a mixed martial artist, who is a well-renowned, famous, legendary actor, action actor. And I love Michael Jai White. And what you heard was Michael Jai White stating that he had gotten inside information, okay? Inside information on Terence Crawford's mega fight with now former unified 3-belt WBA, WBC, IBF welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, Earl the Truth Spence Jr. Earl Spence Jr. is now 28 wins, 1 loss, no draw. He is 22 big wins by way of knockout. He is 33 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. And Michael Jai White says, I'm a huge fan of Errol Spence. Michael Jai White is very connected with the sport of boxing. He's very connected with combat sports overall. And Michael Jai White is stating that he was made privy by some inside sources in training camp for Errol Spence leading up into their July 29th Las Vegas, Nevada T-Mobile Arena mega showdown, mega undefeated, undisputed showdown. Highly anticipated fight in the last 10 years. On paper, seemed to be one of the most 50-50 fights if there ever were one. And it turned out to be anything but that, as Terence Crawford dropped Errol Spence in the second round, twice in the 7th round, and stopped him and battered him in the 9th round. And in between that, I gave Errol Spence the first round, the first half of the 3rd round. Other than that, Errol Spence got battered in the fight. He got dominated. Took a lot of punishment in the fight. And Michael Jai White is saying that he has been made privy to inside sources that told him that Errol Spence was damaged goods before the fight, and that Errol Spence was not himself, and that Errol Spence is not ready for this fight, and that Errol Spence was in trouble ahead of this fight. And as you heard him, he said, as the fight unfolded, I started to be convinced of what my source and my close friend told me that was sparring him. Right? He said that been in the ring with him, and they told him that Errol Spence is not the same guy anymore. He's a shell of himself. And then Michael Jai White goes on to tell the world how Errol Spence suffered a horrific car accident October 2019 after unifying the belt September of 2019 against 2-time welterweight world champion superstar, now retired future Hall of Famer Showtime Sean Porter. Right? And Michael Jai White goes on to say that, Errol Spence suffered an eye injury, and then he's simply not the same guy, and nobody wants to see a rematch because he just simply cannot beat Terence Crawford because he is simply not the same guy he once was. Now, I don't know what happened between July 29th, Las Vegas, Nevada, at the T-Mobile, and April 22nd, April 16th, 2022, Dallas, Texas, AT&T Cowboy Stadium when Errol Spence took on defeated WBA welterweight world champion Cuban star boxer Yordenis Ugas, to which Errol Spence broke Yordenis Ugas' ribs, nose, and orbital bone in that fight and stopped him in the 10th round. From that point forward, he did suffer a fender bender December of 2022. But from that moment forward, he wasn't in any more fights. And he didn't take any major damage. And so with that said, what happened between that time, April 16th, Arlington, Texas, AT&T Dallas Cowboys Stadium, with the Ugas fight until July? Because what he did do was give his body a rest from that point to this point, because he wasn't active. So he gave his body time to heal, time to rest. He was out the ring for over a year. Right? So he gave his body time to heal, time to rest. So what transpired from that point to this point? Because I've heard none of this conversation prior to this Terence Crawford fight until after the Terence Crawford fight. Everybody's bringing up neurological issues, the car accident, the eye injury, the lifestyle that he lived, that he was weight drained, a broken rib. It's ironic that Terence Crawford predicted every bit of this before the fight. He predicted, he said, when I stop you, they're going to say you stayed at welterweight too long. They're going to say you was weight drained. They're going to say, the car accident. They're going to say you wasn't the same guy. Terence Crawford 1000% predicted this. He said this is exactly what they're going to say, and that's exactly what's happening. From every corner of the earth, from celebrities to boxers to you name them, everybody has a rhyme and reason. Now Michael Jai White is revealing that he was told and made privy to information that Errol Spence wasn't the same guy, and that Errol Spence had, been damaged goods in training camp from one of his sparring partners. He said that he'd been in the ring with him. He was in the ring with him. Right? This is what he said. Listen.
Nah, Mike. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, you don't have it. I was like, what are you talking? No, he said, Spence is not a shade of what he was. And this is before the fight. This is a while. He's like, think about this logically. Has Bud Crawford looked that dominant against anybody?
The question is, has Terence Crawford ever looked that dominant against anybody? Well, just to throw out one fight that a fighter they love to discredit. And yes, he did look that dominant in a unification bout when he took on Victor Postol, who was seen to be the boogeyman at the junior welterweight division, when they both was at 140, and Terence Crawford was seen to be ducking Victor Postol. He was seen to be the boogeyman, Ukrainian, Eastern European style of boxing. He was the Sergey Kovalev of the junior welterweight division. And Terence Crawford was seen to be ducking him, just like Danny Garcia was seen to be ducking Victor Postol. And Terence Crawford went in there, dropped Victor Postol twice, and won every single round against Victor Postol. So he looked very dominant in that fight. And Terence Crawford has only went the distance a total of 3 times since becoming the world champion in 2014 when he beat Ricky Burns. That being the Ricky Burns fight, the Beltran fight, and the Victor Postol fight. And he dropped Victor Postol twice in that fight. So he's only went the distance 3 times in almost a decade. So yes, against Victor Postol, he did look that dominant in a high-profile fight. Now, many people might not be aware of just how good Victor Postol was and perceived to be at that time. But Terence Crawford looked absolutely dominant in that fight. And that hence the reason why he was number 2 pound for pound at that time, only behind Andre S.O.G. Ward. So yes, Terence Crawford was looking dominant. This is unfortunate that Terence Crawford is not going to get the credit he deserves, and his rematch is pointless because he's not going to get any of the credit he deserves. None. And that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue. I'm signing off. I'm gone. Peace.